and welcome back to another YouTube video. It's your girl Krissy Cela, and on today's video, probably one of the most highly requested videos. I don't know why you guys want to know this, but you do. Oven. Rude. That was rude. But you do, and I'm here to provide you with the goods. I'm going to be showing you how you can activate your glutes on your next lower body day. Simple, effective, and easy to do routines with a couple tips and tricks. Remember, this is your simple guide to fitness. It really does not need to be complicated, so you've come to the right place if you're just looking for some good, easy, simple stuff to follow. So make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, because it helps your galley. Without further ado, let's get into the tips and tricks. I'm going. So the first thing I want you to ask yourself is whether you actually activate and warm up your glutes before your lower body days. Now, for the purpose of this video, we're going to keep it very glute orientated, so I'm just letting you know. But honestly, ask yourself, do you take those measures to take about 5 minutes to activate your glutes? And if you're not, we've got a situation here, all right? I'm about to change life now, Jane. So if you're not, I want you to start activating your glutes. It can honestly change your whole routine, and it can really change the mind to muscle connection you have along with your other exercises because you fired them up. So that's the first thing I want you to acknowledge. So if you're on this video, you're watching right now, your next lower body day, I actually want you to take the measures to activate. So it really doesn't need to be complicated. I'm going to be showing you 5 exercises that I like to do. 4 or 5 is more than enough. You can do these body weight or you can add a resistance band, but I know not everyone can afford a resistance band, which is absolutely fine. So these will help you if you just have your body, yourself, your soul, your heart, you're good by yourself, boo. So as I said, you don't necessarily need a resistance band, you can just use your body and that will be good enough. The whole point behind an activation is you want to slow it down, you just want to use your body weight, you don't want to add any weights to begin with, and you really want to focus on that mind to muscle connection with your glutes. This applies for everything. If you're training your shoulders, your core, just pre-exhausting and activating them up before you hit the weights is really going to make a difference because you're genuinely firing up your glutes, you're firing up your muscles, you're letting them know that something is about to go down. The next thing I want you to take into consideration is all of your activation exercises should be very isolating. So I want you to avoid any compound movements to begin with. Isolating movements, as you can see from this video, I want you to be doing some body weight hip thrusts, some body weight bridges, some frog pumpers, some kickbacks. Just something to completely isolate your glutes. So no compound movements to begin with, let's just focus on isolation. So the first exercise we are performing is crab walks. So you can either do 10 on your left hand side and 10 on your right hand side, but if you don't have any room and you are doing a lower body day at home, you can simply just do them side to side, so alternating. Now this will not only fire up your glutes, it's going to fire up your quads and your hamstrings as well. Especially if you add a resistance band, that extra resistance is going to help your abductors wake up. And it's all about waking up those abductors. A lot of people isolate them, which is completely fine. So I hope this video makes you realize how important it is to actually train your glutes as a whole, not just focus so much on compound movements. So alternating crab walks, you want to keep your chest upright, your core tight, and make sure that you are constantly in a squat-like position to really fire up your glutes and your legs. Moving on to the second exercise. The second exercise we're moving on to is frog pumps. I absolutely love this exercise. Essentially, you want to combine both feet together like a sandwich and your knees will be flared out. It does feel a little bit uncomfortable, and especially if you are feeling a bit intimidated or overwhelmed in the gym, what I strongly recommend doing is either facing a wall when you are doing this or just putting a bit of a jumper or some sort of covering up section on that region. I personally don't care. I'm about to do me. Look, my glute building is more important to me than what anyone else thinks about me, if I'm being honest. What I want you to do for this exercise is keep your core nice and tight, keep your chin tucked into your chest, and make sure that you are scooping your tailbone in with every movement. Nice and slow, controlled. You don't want to just be pumping these out. Take your time, contract your glutes. And also a really good tip is to actually squeeze prior you lift your glutes up from the floor. It will just help you just fire them up that little bit more. So I want you to perform about 20 reps of these. If you don't have time, put it down to 15 or even 10. But any activation is better than no activation. The third exercise that we are moving on to is your standard kneeling kickbacks. Now you can do these standing or kneeling on the floor on all fours. It's honestly down to preference. You can also do these straight leg or bent leg. I personally absolutely love bent leg. I can really feel it at the top of my glutes. It's so perfect for isolation. And also another top tip when you are performing this exercise is please don't overarch your back. You need to make sure that you are keeping your back nice and contracted and core tight at all times. A lot of people get a lot of back pain, lower back pain when they are performing any type of kickback, and that is truly because you've activated your lower back and it's taken over as opposed to your glutes taking over. So as you can see in this video, when I was getting into position, I was really contracting my core in, hunching my back a little bit so I can just focus on the glute as opposed to taking all the pressure and the strain in my lower back. The next exercise that I want you to do is some standing abductions. I cannot stress the importance of warming up your abductors. They are going to transform your lower body days. I make everyone I know warm up their abductors and then do that machine where you're like abducting out and then you're like, oh, hiding everything because you don't want anyone to see you down below, you know. But if you don't have that type of machine, that is absolutely fine. You can just do them standing with your hand leaning against the wall, abducting slowly. And another top tip for this exercise is if you simply rotate your foot inwards, you will activate your medius a little bit more. Yet again, adding a resistance band is really going to help you. The resistance band I'm using in this video, it's not sponsored at all. It's from my girl, Kim French. She just gifted it to me. I absolutely love her. So that's the resistant band I'm using and they are absolutely amazing. So Kim, thank you if you're watching this. I love your resistant band and I'm super proud of you. So moving on to the final exercise for our activation. The final exercise is going to focus more on a singular leg movement, just like kickbacks. I want you to perform a single leg hip thrust. Whenever it comes to any type of hip thrust, where you position your back and your scapula is really, really important. You don't want the bench to be too high and you don't want the bench to be too low because you won't have any range of motion. And if you have too much of a height, you will have too much range of motion and you'll find yourself swinging and losing balance. So as you can see in this video, the bench is absolutely perfect for me. I'm 5'3", so I always like to have the bench a little bit lower than my scapula, keep my chin nice and tucked into my chest, and I'm also holding my knee for this exercise because I really just want to contract the leg that I'm working, squeeze at the top, hold the contraction for a good second or two before releasing back down. I want you to remember that how you perform an exercise is fundamental. Regardless if you are in a rush or not, your form is absolute key. So if you're sacrificing your form just to get the reps in, just to rush the movement, or just to get the weight up, you are going to damage yourself and your body is too precious for you to put extra strain on it. Always remember that. It's not about what you lift, it's about the form that you perfect. Okay guys, so that is it for this video. I truly hope something I said, some madness I said helped you and you can actually utilize this on your next lower body days. For me, warming up and activating has always been so crucial into my routine. I've been training for 5 to 6 years now and honestly, touch wood, I've never had an injury because I've always taken the measures and the steps to warm up effectively because I know that my body will thank me later. So if you're being lazy and you're not warming up, we're about to talk, you know, because I ain't happy about that. Okay guys, so that is it. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and following your girl on Instagram. Comment down below what you thought in this video. I love to read everything. And remember that I love you always and forever. I'm super thankful for you. Thank you for making my job so rewarding. Bye guys.